everybody. My name is Echo. I'm 29 years old and I live in Los Angeles, California. And this July of 2021, I was diagnosed with Hashimoto's disease. But I would love to give you some backstory on how I even got this diagnosis, what I was going through symptom-wise, and just kind of what to look out for just in case this happens to you, because there are just some things that I wish I would have known. So a little bit of backstory. I was vegan for about a year. I would like to think that I did it the right way. I was eating a lot of whole foods, a lot of plant-based foods, and I was just in pain a lot. I had a lot of gut health issues during this period of my life. I feel like I was just wrecking my gut, to be honest. I was in pain from the moment I opened my eyes to the moment I shut my eyes, and I was very uncomfortable. I was having a lot of gas, bloating. Yeah, it just wasn't good. I was also on the birth control pill at this time as well. So I felt like I was having a lot of mood swings. I was in a toxic relationship, and just not at a very good place. And I really wanted to start eating meat again, but I was really scared because I was doing it for not only health purposes, but as well as just for the animals as well. So I felt really guilty for going back into meat. And I ultimately decided that I had to feel better. I couldn't keep living my life feeling this way. So I went paleo. At this time, I'd broken up with my toxic relationship and I had gotten in a copper IUD right before we broke up. That's a whole other story. I could definitely film a sit down about that, but that's a crazy story too. But it's also an important part of this one. So I went paleo and I started weightlifting because I definitely was gaining a lot of weight from being vegan, and immediately felt so much better. I was like seeing some crazy changes in my body. My digestion was better. Everything was like peak of my health being good. I felt so good. I can't even remember a time I felt that good. I mean, it was crazy. So, yeah, I went paleo for about probably like 9-ish months, and then I went to Europe. And at this time, when I was in Europe, I was eating all the gluten, I was eating everything, and it was fine. I felt okay, and I just knew I had to get back on track when I got home. But it was very difficult for me to do that, and right after that, I got into a relationship. And when you get into a relationship, sometimes all of those things just go out the window. So I started just kind of indulging more, because I think that that's fun in relationships too, to indulge a bit more than you would have before. But as I was doing this, I was noticing some weird things. So the first thing that I had noticed was when I was weightlifting, I got some weird pain in my back. Almost like I had pulled a muscle, but I'm pretty good with my form. I didn't feel like I was doing anything wrong, and it just randomly happened one day, and I wasn't even doing anything like too strenuous. So I had to stop weightlifting because that part in my back hurt really bad. And then I just like stopped having interest around like weightlifting whatsoever and working out, because I just felt when I did it and was able to complete it, I felt so tired. Like ridiculously tired and sore for like a really long time. And I remember asking people on Instagram stories, is it normal to feel this sore after working out? And people are like, yeah, just take amino acids, it's gonna be fine, it's just normal. And I was like, all right. And nothing really helped too much. And then I started going over my boyfriend's house and complaining about feeling tightness and pain in my neck. I just kept saying, I just feel this pressure in my neck, and I don't know what it is, and it's really, really weird. And that was my first couple of symptoms that I had that I know looking back were Hashimoto's, but I just didn't know. So I just kept saying that, and I was like, I need to go to the doctor because something's wrong. I need to get my back looked at, and I need to figure out what's going on with my neck. So I went to, number one, get an x-ray on my back, and they couldn't find anything wrong. I thought for sure I was gonna have like a slipped disc or something was wrong. They couldn't find anything wrong. So that was weird at the time. And then I did get my thyroid levels checked, and they had diagnosed me with hypothyroid, slightly, they said, just slightly. So they said that I can just take a pill and it would regulate and get better. That was obviously wrong. Oh, and I missed a part of the story that I went to probably like 3 doctors before this had happened, and they all just told me it was anxiety. They asked me if I had a history of mental illness, basically just acting like I was making it all up. And then finally I got my thyroid levels tested because I had kind of come to the conclusion that I think it's a thyroid problem. And I had remembered like years and years ago, I'd got my physical and they said I had like a slight problem with my thyroid back then. So I was like, oh, it must be my thyroid. Yeah, it was, but it wasn't exactly what we thought either. So I started getting on levothyroxine. Anyway, I'll leave it down here. And I was on 25 milligrams of that. It did not help at all. I even tried to up the dosage. It didn't help at all. I was feeling really sick still. And things started getting progressively worse, actually. So I started to notice that chunks of my hair were falling out. I started to notice that I was, like I said, really fatigued. I was spending a lot more time in bed. I wanted to do a lot less, which was, luckily it was during quarantine, so there wasn't much to do, but still. And I just kept saying that my neck was just hurting. And I have had some symptoms that I've just had for a long time that I thought were really normal, like cold hands and feet. I've had that for a long time, just thought it was normal. But then I started to get like dizziness. My hair, like I said, my hair started falling out. Probably every Hashimoto's symptom that is out there, I full-blown had. I could go on and on and on about the things I was experiencing. Brain fog, forgetfulness, I had joint pain, so many crazy symptoms. A metallic taste in my mouth, it goes on. But anyway, so I moved in with my boyfriend, and around this time I had noticed I was rapidly gaining weight. I had gained about 25 pounds. So yeah, I started rapidly gaining weight, and once I moved in, I knew I was gonna have to start paying rent, and I was going to have to really work to make money every month. So as I was working, I was just getting really tired. Luckily, I work for myself, and it's like I don't have to go out and have a job. I literally don't know how anyone with Hashimoto's possibly can do that, because I was bedridden like every day. And I just started to notice that like when I got up to cook, like I would tell my boyfriend, like, just keep an eye on me, okay? Because I feel like I'm gonna faint. I feel like I'm gonna fall over, and it would be hard for me to even walk from the bed to our kitchen, which was not very far at all. We lived in a small 1-bedroom. So I knew something was terribly wrong, and I had Googled thyroid, and I had been looking things up, and I came across Hashimoto's disease. And when I read the description of Hashimoto's disease, I just started bawling my eyes out. And I was like, I have this. I know I have this. So I went to a functional nutritionist online that aligned with a lot of the things I believe within the health world. And we got lab testing, and it turns out that yes, I was high in TPO antibodies. My thyroid levels were off. So I do have hypothyroidism along with Hashimoto's disease. So after my diagnosis, things were tough. I felt very sad. I don't know how this could have happened to somebody who took such good care of herself. Yeah, it was tough. And the more I went on, I felt like the less happy I was. And my boyfriend at the time, I just don't think he knew exactly how to handle that or help me in the way that I would have needed to be helped. So I just felt like the relationship, along with that and a couple of other things, weren't the best for my health, and I decided to end that and move back home and really just work on me and my health. So that alone has been really, really hard. The depression with Hashimoto's has hit me really hard, and I'm currently 6 months past my diagnosis. I've eaten basically nothing but whole foods for 6 months. I'm still not feeling well. I've tried a lot of different things, and right now I am doing Carrie Vitt's 90-day program. So I'm on day 30. I feel like I've noticed a bit of difference, but nothing extreme so far. So I'll definitely let you guys know how that goes. But I'm still very much in my healing process. I did get off of levothyroxine in July when I started working with my functional nutritionist, and I started getting on desiccated thyroid from Ancestral Supplements. So I've only been taking one of those pills every single day since July, and I didn't realize that you can like up the dose as you go. You can take 1 to 8. So currently I'm on 2 now. And I have noticed a little bit of change in my energy levels the past couple days. Currently right now I'm not going through that great of a day, but I feel like that supplement will definitely help my energy levels and hopefully help my healing. But that's kind of like where I'm at right now. And it wasn't until I worked with a functional nutritionist and got a full thyroid panel that I was able to determine that it was Hashimoto's, because when you are looking into if you have a thyroid problem, they're usually only going to like run your TSH and T3 and T4. But what you're going to need to do is you're going to need to run a full thyroid panel so that you get your antibodies tested as well. Because the thing with thyroid issues is that you could have a completely normal and functioning thyroid, but you could still have Hashimoto's because it's an immune system problem and it's attacking your thyroid. So your thyroid could be working, but you could still have Hashimoto's. So I unfortunately have both hypothyroid and Hashimoto's, which is why my thyroid levels are off, as well as my antibody levels are high. So if you are looking to get a diagnosis, so you think you may have something similar or have this disease, definitely go to your doctor and demand a full thyroid panel, because they will not give you one unless you demand it. So that is pretty much my diagnosis story and exactly how I figured this out. I'm sure I'll think of something that I forgot throughout all of this, but yeah, so I've just been not able to do any type of workouts except for walking is the only thing that my body can handle. If I try any light weights, any Pilates, any yoga, it just seems to set me off. I literally can very much light stretch and walk only. So that has definitely been a struggle, especially with the weight gain side of it. But yeah, I want to make this channel to just spread awareness to Hashimoto's and to just, you know, say it's gonna be okay, and there is a way to heal this holistically, even though the doctors say that you're gonna have to manage it for the rest of your life. And hopefully I can give some insight into that. And I definitely wanted to make this while I was going through the healing process and not after, so that you guys can really see like the struggles and the good days and all that stuff that I go through. So I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, definitely give it a thumbs up, and I would love for you to subscribe so that you can see more types of videos like this and have a better understanding into Hashimoto's and this very complex disease. So I hope you guys have an amazing day, and thanks for watching.